To set up the SEQUENT SuperCharger for first use, make sure to activate by pressing the crown once. You will see the green LED flash. Then the left energy reserve hand will rotate. It may not rotate to the correct position the first time because the hands have not been calibrated. Just make sure to see the hands have stopped spinning. Next, you need to place it on the charger. If this is your first activation, you need to place it on the charger for 2 hours. You will see the LED light up to confirm. Yellow is charging, green it means charged. One thing to note, make sure that you have the watch centered on the charger. You can see that there's 2 pins here. They will align with these 2 pins here. Although you can charge it this way or this way, it doesn't make a difference. Just make sure it is aligned and centered. After it's charged for 2 hours, if it's your first activation, you can go to the iTunes or Android Play and download the SEQUENT SuperCharger app. Take a note. Make sure to search for the full name, SEQUENT SuperCharger. Once you've installed it, it will be available. Go back to the desktop or home screen. And if this is your first activation, it will prompt you with a quick setup guide. In this case, press connect to SEQUENT. And if you don't see the device, you can tap the crown twice and press scan again. In this case, it's already matched the device. The next step is to calibrate the hands. Give it a moment. It will say calibration started. Then it will move the hands to the 0 position. You can see the minute hand is very slightly off, so the hour hand is correct though. So we're going to press next and then adjust the minute hand. Sometimes you have to go backwards and forwards just a little bit to get it on just the right position. You can see here it is. The other hands are already calibrated, so we'll skip those. The left hand is energy reserve. The right subdial is for the step counting. Once we've finished that setup, the hands will move to the new 0 position. Then we set the menu. For your height and weight, it affects the algorithm that we use for step counting and energy calculation. So make sure to set it as close as possible. The goal sets the default steps for your goal here. Regular starts at 10,000 steps. You can also increase later on, but we should start with regular first. The watch serial number is on the bottom of the watch case engraved here. Please fill in the rest of the information. In this case, I'm going to register later, so we can move on. You can also have the app sync with Apple Health Kit or Android Fit. In this case, I'm going to allow later, so we can move on. Once it's been paired, press sync over here. And if needed, allow the connection. And you can now see the time is set. Over here, SuperCharger energy. This is the energy reserve that's stored in the watch currently. At 99%, you should see that it lines up with the energy reserve subdial here. This is your firmware version in case asked by tech support. If needed, you can go in and check how much energy you've generated. And this is for setting the sports mode in the future. You can re-register your watch if you have made an error. Also, you can change your body settings if your body has changed your weight. You can also adjust your goals here. As you can see, we originally set for regular, but you can adjust it for more. I'm going to keep it as regular here. If you need to connect another watch or repair the connection to your watch, you can choose here, connect the watch, and we can restart the process. Also, if your hands are not quite in the exact position you want, you can also recalibrate the hands by selecting here. Time setup is for manual time in case you don't want to follow local time or you want to adjust the time slightly. Alarm is very simple. You can set the time for the vibration to start. If you have set a custom time that's different from your phone time or mobile time, turn off time auto sync. Otherwise, every time you sync, the app will reset the time on the watch to the current time. This is for setting the sports mode for heart rate monitoring and step counting. You can also change the units here from miles to kilometers and vice versa. Your weight can also be changed in display for pounds versus kilograms. If tech support has instructed you, you should try doing the firmware update. Otherwise, please leave it as is. And now you're ready to use your SEQUENT SuperCharger.